You felt it, yes? Another vision? The Force continues to work through us, showing us the star maps unearthed by Reverend Malak. It is strange that anyone would have built a star map here. The entire surface of Manaan is covered by nothing but vast oceans. The ocean floor is vast, and much of it is uncharted, even by the native Selkath. But how could Revan and Malak have found their way down? No doubt things will become more clear once we discover the star map's location.
Yes, what's on your mind? I already told you, he betrayed us all. Well, there is more to it. I'm sure you don't want to hear about it. It's just that I don't talk about it very much, okay? I told you about my homeworld, Telos. 4 years ago, Saul led the Sith fleet there and demanded its surrender. The planet refused, and Saul proceeded to devastate its entire surface. Millions died. I had a wife and a son on Telos. I thought they would be safe there, but my task force arrived too late to be of much help. We didn't have enough medical supplies. The colony was burning and the dying were everywhere. I remember holding my wife and screaming for the medics, but they didn't come in time. I had nothing left after that, really. I devoted myself to the fleet. Hunting Saul was my only purpose. I miss them, and I know killing Saul won't bring them back. And it won't make me happy again, but I have to do it. I don't expect you to understand, but I have to pay him back for what he's done. I have to. It's all I have left. She had courage, and she was stubborn. Could never talk her out of anything when she put her mind to it. And she hated it when I signed back onto the fleet at the start of the war. I had planned on leaving soon, to join her. His name was Dustil, and I don't know what happened to him. The colony was a complete ruin, and we never found any trace of him. I made inquiries and followed the reports from Telos for years, but I stopped. Anyway, I hope that answers your questions. Let's continue with what we were doing.
Yeah, what do you want? I don't have as many strange stories like the last one I told you, but I do have a couple about me and the stuff I've done. In one battle above the world of Althir, my unit managed to defeat a force of Althiri 10 times our own size. That battle gained me command of an entire subsect of my clan. For 5 days, they had managed to hold off our forces, keeping us to the outer rings of their world, preventing us from attacking it directly. My task was to assault one of their flanks with a false attack. The Althiri would be drawn out by the units I had sent in. Once they had surrounded those units, the bulk of my forces would attack from the rear and defeat them in detail. Things didn't go as I had planned. I saw an opening, a mistake they had made in the disposition of their forces, and took it. While fending off our main force, They had let their fleet split in two. The center of their entire fleet was left exposed. I turned my forces and assaulted the center of their fleet, decimating them. Their slow, ponderous ship could not turn to face us without being overwhelmed. The command vessels were destroyed in seconds. Their ranks were thrown into chaos. It was amusing to watch the surviving ships scatter and flee. Several even tried to dive through the plane of the rings to escape us. They were shredded by the rings, or crashed into rocks, or were destroyed by our forces as we pursued them. Warriors do not flee from a battle if they are losing. They fight to the end, as we did against your Jedi Revan. Another time, maybe, I'll tell you about how the war with the Republic went. For now, let's just get on with things. Is there something else you want to know? Your choice. I'm here if you want something done right. Yeah, what do you want? I think I'll tell you a bit about the recent war we had with the Republic. That might be more familiar to you. The one where Jedi Revan beat my people. We started by conquering worlds outside the Republic. We did it quietly so the Republic wouldn't really know what was going on until it was too late. When we finally did hit the Republic worlds, they had no idea we were coming. We came in through 3 invasion corridors in adjacent sectors. Anyone who put up a fight, or wouldn't fight, was crushed. We razed whole worlds trying to provoke the Republic into fighting us. I don't particularly enjoy wiping out worlds for its own sake, but the cowardly tactics the Republic defenders used left us little choice. Hiding in the homes of civilians, using families as shields, thinking we would not use appropriate force on their bases inside major cities. They underestimated our resolve, and what measures are acceptable in war. Those who cannot defend themselves should not be around those who can in battle. If annihilating a city is the kind of power it takes to overwhelm a Republic shield device, then that's what we did. Necessary force to destroy all opposition. There was no honor in wiping them out like rats, but some of your forces did redeem the Republic in our eyes, especially later. Later, when Revan had joined the war. But we'll get back to that. We've wasted too much time already. Is there something else you want to know? Your choice. I'm here if you want something done right.
You Republic people are so pathetic, sitting around groveling at the table scraps the galactic senators deign to give you. It makes me sick.
The senators work for the good of the whole galaxy, not for individual gain.
Ha! Don't make me laugh, you gutless simp. It's the destiny of weak-minded fools like you to be ruled over by the strong, like we Sith.
I'm warning you. Don't push me or you'll get just what you're asking for.
Try it. Just try it. I'd love to see you throw the first punch. And with all the cameras around, the Selkath would be all over you inside of 30 seconds. You break their laws. You pay the price, Republic scum. But I can see that you're not man enough to back up your words anyway. If you ever feel like relieving yourself of your worthless existence, feel free to come by our enclave here. We have many ways to fulfill your wish.
Yeah, what are you... Oh, I apologize, Master Jedi. I should not have been rude. Of course. If you have any other questions, you should probably see Roland Wan. He's the Republic diplomat here. He's by the Republic Enclave near the visitor residences. Oh, if you don't know where that is, go north from here, then south past the port official in the first courtyard, east into the second courtyard, then north, then east again. You got that? Have a pleasant stay, Master Jedi.
Carth Onesi, is that you?
Jordo?
It is you, isn't it? I knew it when I laid eyes on you. You old space dog. How've you been? I thought for sure you'd be fighting on some ship out there.
I was. I crashed.
That's pretty rich. I can't imagine what it would take to keep you on the ground. Must have something to do with your friend here, eh? How's it going? Sure am. We joined the militia together back on Telos. That was a lot of years ago, of course.
So what are you doing here, Jordo? Last time I saw you was on, Telos, actually.
Yeah, it's a shame about home. Telos still hasn't recovered. The family and I moved on, and I'm working for Zerka now. I didn't see you after... what I mean is, my condolences on your wife. I heard what happened. At least your boy made it through all right.
My boy? You mean Dustle?
Yes, of course. I saw him at my last stop on Korriban, though he didn't recognize me. You didn't know he was there?
No. Jordo, Dustle's been missing since the attack on Telos. Are you absolutely certain it was him?
Yeah, I'd recognize Dustle anywhere. Positive. He's joined the Sith, Garth.
What do you mean he's joined the Sith?
There's an academy for the Sith on Korriban. He's a student there. I saw him suited up in their outfit and everything. Sorry, I thought you knew.
No, I didn't. Well, thanks for telling me, Jordo.
Sure, no problem. Good to see you again, Karth. Hope everything works out with Dustle.
Dustle is alive. We have to go to the Korriban Academy and find him. Thank you. I just have to see him. I have to know what happened to him. All this time I thought he was... he must be a man by now.
Your precious Republic's days are numbered. It won't be long until Malak turns his armada loose on Coruscant itself.
Save your empty threats, Sith scum. Malak isn't stupid enough to attack the core worlds, now with the entire Republic fleet waiting for him.
You're a fool. When the Sith descend on Coruscant, our numbers will block out the sun itself. The galactic senators will collapse trembling in fear and beg for mercy at Malak's feet.
You underestimate the Republic's resolve. We'll die before we surrender Coruscant.
That can be arranged. Remember what happened to Taris. Malak could do the same to the core worlds.
He wouldn't dare.
Now it is you who underestimate our resolve.
Kakinja nawabakaon, pichag. Chiwi aita ka chong chicha, tong hidwama akikinko tune. Kakinja nawabakaon, pichag. Tong hidwama akikinko tune. Potong hidwama ji aki diskadosoki kopa bono nakachi. Tong hidwama akikinko tune. Potong diskadosoki kopa bono nakachi dong hidwama aki chiwa aita kan kicha na chiwi aita ka chong chicha dong hidwama aki inko tune potong chiwa aita kan kicha na dong hidwama aki inko tune diskadosoki kopa bono nakachi dong hidwama aki inko tune diskadosoki kopa bono nakachi dong hidwama aki inko tune diskadosoki kopa bono nakachi dong hidwama aki inko tune diskadosoki kopa bono dong hidwama aki inko tune pot chiwi aita ka chongchi Chiwa aita kan kicha na diskadosoki kopa bono nakachu dong hidwama aki inko tune diskadosoki kopa bono nakachu labora chiwi aita ka chongchi dong hidwama aki inko tune potong hidwama ji aki diskadosoki kopa bono nakachu labora na winki smaktom dong hidwama aki inko tune potong diskadosoki kopa bono nak dong hidwama aki inko Diskadosoki, Kopa Bono Nakachu, Labora na Winkis, Tong Hidwama Aki Inko Tune. Diskadosoki, Kopa Bono Nakachu, Tong Hidwama Aki Inko Tune. KOTOR. Diskadosoki, Tong Hidwama Aki Inko Tune.
Hey, this street is for Sith only. You gotta pay a 20 credit toll to walk down this street. You talk big, but remember what we did to Taris. Maybe you're next on our list.
We might have a position within the Sith organization for one such as you.
Your offer is pretty good, but I've heard some nasty things about you, Sith. Is it true you bombed Taris into dust?
This is war. In war, certain distasteful acts cannot be avoided. But ask yourself this, when we win this war, would you rather be against the Sith or with us?
You make a good point. And I've never turned down a job that pays up front.
Excellent. Report to the Sith Embassy tomorrow for your assignment.
Jodie, it is you. I need your help.
Laura, to all the people. How did you even know I'd left Kashyyyk?
I didn't. Nobody knew where you were, not even Sunry. But I heard the Selkath mention you and your friends. The Force has brought you to help us.
Why? Whatever could be the matter, my dear?
It's horrible, Jolie. Sunry has been arrested. The Sith have accused him of murder.
Murder? But how?
It's all a mistake, Jolie. Sunry isn't a murderer. Someone is trying to frame him.
Calm down, Elora. Where's Sunry now?
Sunry's being held at the Selkath courts. They won't let anyone in to see him. Please, go to the courts. Talk to the judges. Maybe the Selkath will listen to you.
Don't worry, Elora. We'll get to the bottom of this and help Sunry. Somehow.
So, do we have a deal?
That's an awful lot of money. Is there something you're not telling me?
Don't be so suspicious. The Republic is generous. We pay our mercenaries well.
Makes sense, I guess. All right, I'm in. When do I start?
Just show up at the Republic Embassy tomorrow and speak to our representative there. I'm sure he'll have some task he wants you to start on right away.
I'm uncomfortable with spying on the Republic, but if we could assure the Selkath that they mean no harm, then perhaps it might be worth
Welcome to Manaan. I'm Roland Wan. As the official representative of the Republic Embassy on this planet, I'm here to help all citizens of the Republic should they require aid. Oh, of course. Of course, I'll do whatever I can. But I'm only a simple diplomatic representative of the Republic. I doubt I can be of any use to the Jedi Council. An ancient and forgotten race. And you think it may be here on Manaan? Well, perhaps. But if you want to get information about that, you'll have to do something for me first. We were using a submersible reconnaissance droid in the ocean surrounding Otto City, and it was damaged. It took a data recording of the outside of the city before being driven off by the Phoraxan sharks. But while it was returning to the surface, it encountered difficulties and was disabled. Its automatic systems floated it to the surface, but we could not retrieve it in time. The Sith were applying subtle pressure to the Selkath authorities for some reason we've not determined, and were able to delay us long enough that they could retrieve the droid before we did. The droid's data centers are heavily encrypted, so it will take the Sith several days, we believe, to get to its data. It was captured 12 hours ago. It is imperative that we get it back. It's heavily guarded, we're sure, in the Sith embassy here on Manaan. Since we have no remaining soldiers to spare, and certainly not our elite ones, we have no one capable of entering the Sith base and retrieving it. That is what we would ask you to do. There are several leads we've been working on to get into the Sith base. Any of them should work for you, although it might be wise to concentrate your efforts on just one. The first method that's possible is to help us interrogate a Sith prisoner we managed to catch after he tried to infiltrate our base. He's being held just inside our enclave. We think he may be able to give us the passcode that the Sith give their informers to enter the base. He has proved most resilient so far. Good. It's a logical place to start. But you should also hear about the other options available to you. We managed to pick up a crate of blank Sith data cards, the type they use for passcards. The encryption system to unlock them is very difficult, however. But if you are more skilled than our technicians, you may be able to gain access that way. Good. It is a very intelligent and skilled individual who can crack the matrices of a Sith encryption system. But there is one last method you should know about in case all other options fail. The Sith have got the Selkath to give them exclusive use of one of the main hangar bays. Visiting Sith masters use this bay to land, then take a speeder over the water to an external entrance to the Sith enclave. The luckless spy we mentioned earlier had a passcard to that hangar on him. While it is surely well guarded, it may prove to be the most direct route. Here's the card. The Sith base itself is very heavily guarded. If they became aware of your presence, I fear you would be quickly outnumbered and killed. Here is a pass card to get you inside our facility. You should find all you need to get started in there. You can choose whichever of the methods you want, as long as you get in the base and get the data recording back. Which method do you think you would like to try first? Good choice. We've been working at that for a while, but it's been too difficult so far. Maybe you'll have better luck. I wish you luck in your task. Should you retrieve the data recording from the droid, return it here to me, and we can see about getting you that information.
Uchua Penki, Tongi Tuamaji, Chiwi Aita Ka Tong Chicha, Tongi Tuama Aki Inko Tune, Potong Chiwa Aita Kan Kicha Na, Chiwi Aita Ka Tong Chicha, Agi Chiwa Aita Kan Kicha Na, Chupornip, Diska Dosoki, Kopa Bonakachu, Labora na winki smack toma, Tongi Tuama Aki Inko Tune, Diska Dosoki, Kopa Bono Nakachu, Tongi Tuama Aki Inko Tune, Diska Dosoki, Kopa Bono Nakachu, Labora na winki smack tom, Tongi Tuama Aki Inko Tune, Chiwi Aita Ka Tong, Chiwa Aita Kan Kicha Na, Chupornibo, Diska Dosoki, Kopa Bono Nakachu, Laboran Tongi Tuama Aki Inko Chiwi Aita Ka Tong Chicha, Agi Inko Tune, Chunamuri Ra, Tongi Tuama Jiko. Diska Dosoki, Kopa Bono Nakachu, Chiwa Aita Kan Kicha Na, Chiwi Aita Ka Tong Chicha, Chiwi Aita Ka Tong Chicha, Agi Inko Tune, Chunamuri, Chiwa Aita Kan Chiwi Aita Ka Tong Chicha, Ki Nui Ra Kun King. Chiwi Aitak.
Huh?
Alright, we're going after our first Genoharadan target. The best thing I can recommend for this particular target is bring someone with a high repair skill. We're going to do a side mission, 4 mission, right at this time, but in the meantime, these Genoharadan targets are very tedious.
You're back! I knew you'd come through for me. I knew I could count on you. You do have a tech land for me, right? Come to Papa, you sweet simian organ. It may not look like much, but once I turn this into a bottle of Torresian ale, it'll end up being worth a fortune. Thanks, Mission. You won't regret helping me out with this.
Please, Griff, let this be the last time. No more cons, no more scams, no more schemes. That's all I ask.
Hey, sis. No need to worry about that. I've turned over a new leaf. From now on, I'm gonna stay out of trouble and do things right. And once we've cornered the market on Torresian ale, good things will be heading my way. Then I'll make it up to your Mission. Just wait, you'll see. You know, once we synthesize this and start brewing Torresian ale in mass quantities, we're gonna be looking for some investors. You give me a couple of 100 credits, and I can get you in on the ground floor. You'll get a return of, at least 20 times your investment. You don't know much about business, do you? When an opportunity like this comes along, you have to jump at it. Come on, what do you say? It's your loss. I better get started brewing that ale. Meet me back here later, and I'll give you a down payment on what I owe you.
Ki mulira kunking. Dong hitwa maagi.
I don't like the sound of this.
Chiwi aita ka chong chicha. Agi inko tune. Chiwa aita kan kicha na jupornibo. Kun mulira slimo poiwanga. Topa na otavokasa. Pampa ki mulira kunking. Changwaba chingo. Just crunky to pat slimo. Chi ita kanki channa kilikon. Kinba mulira. Just crunky to pat slimo. Chi ita kanki channa kilikon. Kinba mulira dwanaji. Kinba.
Damn it, Griff. Won't you ever learn? How can my own flesh and blood be so stupid?
Chiwa aita kanki chana.
Alright, we're going after our second Genoharadan target. What I recommend for you guys is to bring strong, really strong hitters. And Jolie, if you've forgotten anything within the Shadowlands, because he's the only one that can get the force field open. Also, if your character or Bastila has force speed, I would recommend bringing them to Kashyyyk because that is the fastest way you're going to finish this.
At last, my search is over. I was beginning to fear someone else had killed you and deprived me of the pleasure you may have defeated the pathetic bounty hunter my master sent after you. But you are no match for me. I have studied at the foot of the Dark Lord himself.
You's a fool.
Your words mean nothing to me, unless you wish to beg for your life. No? Then I shall try to make this both quick and painful.
Can you please give Bastila a hand? She's freaking losing again. Oh God.
What can I do?
God damn it, Bastila, you had one freaking job! God damn it, you left me alone with the damn freaking robot. I hope you're happy.
Yes?
Ready!
What?
And stay down. Somebody shut those space crickets up.
Yes? What can I do?
Now, we had missed something back here in the last video. Some sort of light side relic and a journal belonging to one of 3 Jedi. It's around here somewhere. Now we found it. Now, if you're a light side character, you go ahead and put this relic on, but if not, just give it to Bastila or Juhani, assuming you have her.
there. What can I do for you? I want to thank you for helping me with Griff. You did everything you could for my brother. More than most people would have. I know it might look like it didn't make any difference in the end. Griff's in debt and on the run like usual. But at least I know we tried to help him. Don't worry. I see all Griff's faults plainly now. None of us is perfect, but I realize he's a little less perfect than most. My brother is what he is, but I've learned to deal with that. I'll never forget that he looked after me when I was just a kid, but I don't feel like I owe him anything anymore. I've made my peace with Griff and what he means to me. If he ever shows up again, I'll deal with him. But I'm not going to dwell on my brother anymore. It's time to move forward. So, is there anything else you need? Okay, have it your way.
What do you need? Talk about what? The only thing I want to do right now is find Dustle. If he's alive, there's just nothing else I want to think about. I'll understand if we can't look for him right now, but if we could, it would be a huge load off my mind.
Now we are going after our final Genoharadan target at very long last. I cut this thing down for you guys. You guys didn't have to enjoy the whole thing like I did. But finally, we're almost done.
Takum justak miki grabel mogo. Kachi chu ai thao donga. Tong hai tuam jiji yumalith pa ang yinkotu. Takum justak miki grabel mogo. Kachi chu ai thao dong. Tong hai tuam jiji yuma. Gavatum pa kunpa. Rundi haudonga kuhungabi. Wana kumbes. Takum justak miki grabel mogo. Kachi chu. Takum justak miki grabel mogo. Kachi chu ai thao donga. Tulpada dong hai tuam jiji yumalith pa ang yinkotu. Takum justak miki grabel mogo. Kachi chu ai thao donga. Tong hai tuam jiji yumalith pa ang yinkotu. Tulba. Chipedwana ni bobo. Tony pudo. Rana no pra.
Ujua penki, only dwama. Chiwi aita ka tong chicha. Agi unko tong hi dwama aki unko tune. Potong hi dwama ji aki unko tu. Tong ki mulira ku. Chiwi aita ka tong chicha. Agi unko tune. Chuna chiwa aita kan kicha na chupornibo. Chiwi aita ka tong chiki mulira ku. Tong hi dwama aki unko tune. Potong chiwa aita kan kicha na chupot chiwi aita ka tong chicha. Achua penki yun patisa. Ijuba jikonta tong hi dwama aki unko tune. Potong diska dosoki kopa bono nakachu. Tong hi dwama aki unko tune. Potong diska dosoki kopa bono nakachu labora na. Tong hi dwama aki unko tune. Potong hi dwama ji aki chiwi aita ka tong chicha. Agi unko diska dosoki kopa bono nakachu labora na winkis.
Yeah, what do you want? We fought against the Republic forces for some time, over the course of many battles. At the start, they were not much of a threat to speak of. But once the Jedi Revan took charge, things began to turn against us. The Republic fleets began to use more than just basic tactics. Feints, counterattacks, mass deceptions. Revan was a genius on the field. Revan abandoned worlds of their defenders so that others would be too fortified to strike, and was willing to make sacrifices in order to advance goals. And in the end, Revan proved too much for us. There was no one else. The entire Republic had committed its forces behind Revan. The Sith had retreated back to their empire, and there were none else strong enough to challenge us. It looked like the entire galaxy was within our grasp. I still remember that final battle in the skies above Malachor 5. The two fleets filling the space around it, outshining the stars. Yeah, we lost. But there is no shame in it. We lost to the greatest single warrior the Republic has ever known. It was not your ships, or your men, or your vaunted fight for freedom that won this, the final battle of the war. It was by the actions of one person, the Jedi Revan, that you prevailed. His strategies and tactics defeated the best of us. Even Mandalore himself was taken aback by the ferocity of his attacks, the tenacity of his defenses, and the subtleties of his plans. He fought us to a standstill, and then began pushing back. We really didn't have a chance. It was what we had wanted all along, in a way. We wanted to fight the best, in a battle that would be remembered for centuries. And we did. And Revan won. I don't hold a grudge against Revan, and neither do any of my people. It was the greatest moment of my life to be in that battle. If Revan had been a Mandalorian, nothing in the galaxy would have stopped us. But wishing for the past to be different is useless. Better look to the future, as we should now. We'll talk more later, I think. Is there something else you want to know? Your choice. I'm here if you want something done right.
Baba Hassan Shan, Noba Mudi Ratila. Chiwa aita kan kicha na chupornibo, kakincha na wabagaon. Bagwa shan kontimachit
What?
So, Bastila, I heard a rumor that the Vulkars captured you without much of a struggle. It must be embarrassing to be bested by a handful of street thugs.
There were extenuating circumstances, and I can assure you, it took far more than a handful of Vulkars to subdue me.
Whatever you say. All I know is that if we had more Jedi like Bastila fighting against us in the Mandalorian Wars, my side might not have lost.
Bold talk from a broken-down mercenary who is serving at Davik's heel. I'd call you his pet cowhound. But they have enough loyalty not to turn on their masters.
Insults? Maybe if your master had trained your lightsaber to be as quick as your tongue, you could have escaped those Vulkars, you spoiled little Jedi princess.
I was not spoiled. I was given the same training as everyone else in the Order. You are nothing but a... No? I must not do this. There is no emotion. There is peace.
That's the problem with you, Jedi. Always chanting about peace and control. Never up for a good fight. Well, except for Revan, I guess.
Enough, Mandalorian. I won't rise to your bait anymore. The game is over. Let us continue on with what we were doing. Jolie, may I have a moment? There's something I wish to speak to you about.
Yep, I figured it was only a matter of time until we had the whole come back to the Order discussion. Well, I guess there's no avoiding it now, so let's get it over with.
I know you have issues with the Order, but you are a Jedi, Jolie. You command the Force. Without the guidance of the Council, how can you avoid falling to the dark side?
Well, I've managed to avoid it the last 20 years or so. Besides, light side, dark side, they don't mean the same to me as they do to you. I don't see in absolutes. I want to stop Malak as much as anyone, but I don't have to join the Order to do it. Look at Karth or Canderous. They're with us in this quest, but they aren't Jedi. The capacity for good or evil, like the Force itself, is in all living creatures, and belonging to the Jedi Order, or the Sith, or any group, won't change what you are at your core.
I see you were quite adamant. No doubt you've had ample time to think on this during your long seclusion. I guess it was foolish of me to think I could sway your position so easily.
Yeah, I'm old and stubborn, but I appreciate the effort. But from now on, you can just think of me as any other non-Jedi in our little group, with a lightsaber and Force powers.
So you're the one who's gonna try to get into the Sith base, eh? Huh, good luck, you're gonna need it. This is our main computer room here. We got the box of pass cards we got from the Sith, but we haven't been able to break their encryption yet. We have been able to decode the numeric system they use, but there are holes in our terminal sequence patterns. The strings of numbers that end the code sequences. If we could complete those strings, we would have the key to their encryption system. The encryption system is composed of 6 matrices. Each is based on a mathematical method. The holes we're missing are the final number in each of the strings. Most are simple, but the final 2 matrices seem to be much more difficult. Well, the second last matrix has a pattern looping back on itself, or something. And the last is divided into smaller subparts. Maybe the pattern for that is within each part. But I have to admit, all this is a bit over my head. I haven't even been able to slice past the first matrix, and I've been at this for hours. I've ruined a dozen cards already. But the good thing is we have a whole box of them, so you don't have to worry about running out anytime soon. Since Roland said you were cleared, you can use the computer freely. I'll be here if you have any questions.
Alright, I'm going to show you guys how to do this Sith base card real quick. Alrighty, Sith, okay. Come on, okay. Addition to the number, that would be 22. Next one would be 18 in the pattern. It's 18, right? Yeah, it's 18. Okay, every number is multiplied by 2, so the next one will be 64, I think. 32 times 2, 64. Okay. And now, okay, everything is divided by 2, so the next one would be 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Okay. The next one in the matrix, I think it's 6. Okay. And is the next one 6? No, it's 7. Okay. Did we get it? All right, we got it. That is correct, people. We're not going to interrogate a prisoner. We're not going to bang on the back door through some sub. We're going to go knock on the front door. Sure as hell won't be delivering space pizza. Hell no, we're going to cause some noise. We got it.
Only people who have business with the Sith are allowed inside the embassy. If you have a pass, why are you bothering me with it? Just go in.
You there. I don't recognize you. How did you get in here? Your pass card is out of date, and I don't recognize you at all. We'll get to the bottom of this soon enough. Commander Gran, report to the security desk immediately. You authorized this person to enter. I don't know them, and their identification doesn't match up. They're spies.
What? Sound the alarm! Droids, destroy them!
Alright, we brought Mission along for this one. She's been updated with all the Genoharadan gear, including a poison blade and strength gauntlets, so she'll be kind of useful.
What?
Back your people up. Bringing a droid in here won't hurt either, especially one with a high repair skill. I don't normally screw with the computers in this area.
Yes? What?
really good tip here. If you disable that force field, you don't have to deal with the water pump at all. Man, I hate that room.
Yes?
How did you get in here? Wait. I recognize you. Lord Malak was most displeased when he learned you had escaped Taris alive. He has promised a great reward to whoever destroys you.
Commentary. It is not possible to destroy the Master. It is suggested you run while my blasters warm up, meatbags.
As you wish, my eager apprentices. We shall remove this thorn from Malak's side once and for all.
I'll show you.
Active!
Sure.
Acknowledgement!
Yes?
Die already!
Have you managed to retrieve the... Excellent. It does not appear to have been tampered with, so the Sith did not manage to copy its contents yet. And now for your information. We are not supposed to speak of this, but since you are a Jedi and we have exhausted all the other options, I think I can entrust you with this. As you know, the Republic is fighting for its very existence against the evil of the Sith Empire. As you also undoubtedly know, we're doing very poorly. We need much in the way of supplies and material to stem the tide of battle and bring us victory. Manaan is the sole source of KOTOR, the most powerful medical substance in the galaxy. Frankly, we need as much of it as we can get. The Selkath conservatives, with their neutrality treaties, seek to treat the Sith and the Republic equally. This includes kolto exports. But a few more far-sighted Selkath see that if the Sith are ever allowed to win, the galaxy will be plunged into darkness, and there would be nothing to stop them from taking Manaan anyway. So we made a deal. Shh, not so loud. Yes, it is a technical violation of the treaty, but it is sanctioned by elements of the Selkath government. We need only to keep it hidden from the Sith. We recently began construction of a secret underground facility to harvest kolto directly at its source. We also hope to one day be able to synthesize it effectively. Current techniques are insufficient for the task, so we must mine it for now. The amount we take would hardly be noticed, since most is lost naturally before it reaches the surface anyway. We were nearing completion of the base when the digging teams reported some sort of obstruction. An ancient building or artifact, possibly your star map. Transmissions from the base were cut off abruptly after that, and we haven't heard from the station since. Please, just let me explain. As you may have noticed, we're hiring a lot of mercenaries around here. Ostensibly, they're to be shipped off-world to aid in our fight against the Sith, but they're really for another purpose. When we lost contact with the station in the Rackard Rift, we sent our contingent of Republic soldiers down to investigate. None returned. We've tried hiring mercenaries and sending them down as well, but none of those expeditions have returned either. The reason we really sent that droid underwater, and the reason we needed its data back so badly, was to find out what happened to the Rackard Rift station. But now that we have the data back, Our operation is in no danger of exposure to the Sith, and now I must live up to my end of the bargain. I took the liberty of having a submarine prepared for your departure. Merely use this card to get past the door behind our Kolto packing room and enter the sub therein. It has been programmed to take you down to the station, and also to take you back up should you need something. I would send soldiers to assist you, but we've lost many of ours, and nearly exhausted the mercenary population of this planet. The soldiers we have are barely enough to keep this base secure. The Sith have also noted our interest, and begun to bribe mercenaries away from us. Please, find out what happened to the facility. There may be some survivors left down there. Perhaps even the head scientist, Kono Nolan. Good luck in your efforts.
We're going to go ahead and stop it there, guys. Hey, thanks a lot for watching. Leave a like, comment. Oh, man. This was quite a ride. I'll give you that. We'll see you in the next video.